In today's video, we're going to take a look at proven winter perennials that are going to be introduced in 2026. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and it's the beginning of September right now. And as we walk through this garden, I am just in awe of all of the color that is still going on. It will go to show that a lot of these varieties are long blooming and or fall blooming perennials. And I feel like this time of year is a time of year when sometimes our gardens are feeling a little tired and just need a boost of color. So a lot of these new introductions are going to help carry the color through the summer and into the fall. I would really be curious if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment below as to what some of your favorite perennials that we're going to show you today are. That'll help us kind of gauge interest on the plants and kind of help us get a little inside maybe on numbers on how many we should be growing for this coming year. So let's go ahead and take a walk through the garden. Heliopsis raised for days is about 24 inches tall or so in the bed right now, and it features these really large, bright golden yellow blooms that are fully double. Look at all of the petals on these flowers. So this plant really is not only florific, meaning there's a lot of flowers on it, but each and every one of the flowers is a nice big flower. So that's something that we're pretty excited for in the coming year. Setting just behind it is a panicum grass called October Sky. And October Sky features kind of a bluish green foliage. Right now, these are only about 3.5 foot tall. Now, this is a new bed, newly planted, so I don't have the information on what or how tall they're going to be at maturity. But if I had to guess, this is looking like it could be a pretty mature plant. So more of a compact type habit. And then not only does it have that blue-green strappy foliage with its nice upright habit, it's September and it's got these gorgeous rosy plumes on it that are just dancing in the breeze. So I'm liking this color combination of the flowers and the foliage together. A new yucca for 2026 is the Dragon Slayer yucca with its really wide green foliage. This is about 24 or so inches tall right now in the trial bed. And yucca are known to send up a flower spike with gorgeous big white flowers on them. These plants are probably still a little too young to send up that flower spike. But even without that flower, I'm loving the texture that they add into this bed. It's got a nice, more of an upright habit. I mean, it's mounding, but it's an upright mounding habit. And I'm loving how we're seeing shades of not only green, but kind of a deeper blue as well in the foliage of the Dragon Slayer. We have a few blooms that we're still able to enjoy on the coneflower Knock Em Red. One thing I have observed with the Knock Em Red as the season has kind of gone on is what color are these flowers really? So, I mean, this one here is fairly red, but I'm seeing some orange undertones. As the flowers age, they're taking on a little bit more of a pink look to them. So, yeah, to say that Knock Em Red is a true red, I don't know that I can certainly say that. Definitely there are red tones in it, and it's probably the reddish of the introduction so far in the Proven Winter collection. But I did just want to say that, you know, expectation and reality, the name does imply red, but I am seeing a lot of orange and pink tones in this plant as well. We're also seeing a few of the Delphinium in the background. This is the Delphinium Violets Are Blue. So typically violets are blue would be more of a spring blooming plant, but we're getting some secondary blooms on these guys as well. And if I remember right, which who knows, my memory, you know, these days, this is going to be maybe a 2 foot or so tall variety of Delphinium. I know they're laying kind of sideways right now, but like I said, this is all secondary blooms, end of summer. So these plants aren't looking their best, but I still think that they're looking really great. And as we look down through the garden bed, look at all those little splashes of blue, which is impressive and telling me that this could be a very impressive reblooming Delphinium. ATHENA Gold is another Heliopsis that will be introduced in 2026. And this one has more just like a double layer of petals on it. Slightly smaller flowers than some of the other Heliopsis in the Proven Winter collection, but it's got a nice, dense, full habit to it. So I would say 18 or 20 inches tall is what we're seeing right now. Heliopsis is a long blooming perennial. So these guys, anything that we're seeing blooming right now really is showing, you know, color that's been going on for at least a month or more at this point in the season. So this is the ATHENA Gold. Next to it is a Schizachyrium grass. This is called Cinnamon Sticks. And I just, there's something about Schizachyrium grass that just feels different than other grasses. Grass is kind of hard to photograph or video. So we're going to just start at the bottom, get a little closer, and show you as we head upward. So I'm seeing shades of gray, shades of green, shades of burgundy, just really kind of gorgeous tones. But all in all, from a distance, the biggest color I'm seeing is that rosy burgundy color. It's just starting to put on its flowers a little bit. I think probably another week or so it would be more in full bloom. But really a beautiful color foliage in grass. And right now these are about 3 foot tall in this garden. This one here is going to be a new plant coming called Prairie Princess. This is a fall blooming perennial. So it is just literally starting to put on its flowers. And it's interesting because when we look close at the stems, there's a lot of shades of deep purple on the stems. And then we got these really bright purple blooms as well. This is a great pollinator plant for the late season pollinators. Right now, this one stands about 2.5 foot tall by about 2.5 to 3 foot wide. And it's going to be kind of a prairie looking plant. I think it does have a nice habit. Sometimes the Vernonia is kind of a wild looking habit, but there's 3 of them actually planted right here. And they all have a really nice habit to them. And they're just starting to show color. So that is going to be definitely one of those plants that's going to take your garden color later on into the season. Lemon Purrfection Nepeta is going to be a little bit more, let's say, better behaved than Chartreuse on the Loose. You can see here, it still has got a little bit of a spreading habit to it. It's only about 12 or 18 inches tall here in the garden. They've got a planting of 5 of them. It's noted for its chartreuse green foliage and light lavender or medium lavender blooms. Nepeta typically is a long blooming perennial as well. It starts off in the spring, and then throughout the summer on new growth, you'll get additional blooms. This would be a plant I'd say kind of as a twofer, meaning not only does it have gorgeous blooms, it's got gorgeous foliage as well. So even if it's not blooming, you can see how it really stands out in the garden. A bleeding heart for full sun. This is Dicentra Passion Hearts. And Passion Heart has that blue-green fern-like foliage. This is a long blooming bleeding heart for full sun. And it's a little bit deeper pink than what Burning Hearts is. And I love how it really pops up against that nice foliage. It's about 18 inches tall or so. And for the most part, I mean, you can see there's some spent blooms on it, but this thing is continually trying to put out more and more flowers, even though we've kind of started to turn the corner and have been getting a little bit of colder nights here in our Zone 6 garden. Another Nepeta to the collection is Nepeta Catwalk Queen. And Catwalk Queen, from what I'm observing here in the garden, is only about 8, maybe 10 inches tall. So it's very compact. But it's about 18 to 20 inches wide. So compared to Cat's Pajamas, it's similar in height, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit wider in its habit. It's blooming here, still late September, so great rebloom. I think what's make this even, and another little attribute of it, I think, is that it starts blooming a little bit earlier than some of the other proven winners Nepeta thus far. And I think this is a good point. I should have pointed it out earlier, but what I'm telling you on these plants is observation only. So this is not necessarily catalog details. This is not definitive heights, spreads, etc. This is all based on my observations of what I'm seeing here in these garden beds. So a lot of these, well, all of these are new varieties that are coming out next season. So something to look for in 2026 to put on a wish list. We should have most of these varieties starting sometime in December or January available for pre-order. So definitely what I'm telling you today may differ a little bit from actual information once you get into the catalog and see its actual information. We've got beautiful Treasure Trove, Rudbeckia, and this is really known for its clean foliage. So you can see it's got gorgeous blooms on it, but the blooms are awesome. All Rudbeckia blooms are awesome, but let's go in deep and look at the foliage. So typically you're going to see black spot on this foliage this time of year, but look how clean it is. Like, I am not seeing literally any black spot on this plant right now. So that's a really good sign to the breeding of this plant, is that it's very clean and isn't going to get ugly looking towards the end of the summer in the garden bed. Thalictrum cotton ball, that was a plant that bloomed earlier this season. I guess we'll just show you it for its habit here where we are late now. Maybe we can pop some pictures up of what it looked like earlier. But this had gorgeous white plumes of flowers in, I think, May or June. And it was just a fun, whimsy plant to have in the garden. New Festuca. This is Festuca Perfect Edging. And it's going to be a lower growing Festuca grass. This is about 2.5 foot tall. But what stands unique here is the variegated foliage on it. It's got the tan seed heads. And a great plant, as its name implies, perfect edging, kind of a nice shorter grass if you're looking to create an edging in your garden bed. Behind it there is a Garnet globes hibiscus. Now this plant looks really ratty, so don't judge the plant based off of the video. It's late season. This plant was gorgeous early on. I'm just showing you this just to kind of give you a little bit of look into the flower. Even the flower is not really smiling pretty today, but let's just kind of use it as a example of what the flower should-ish look like. So Garnet globes. This is going to be a very low-growing hibiscus. I think this one only is 3 foot tall, so it's going to be one of the shorter varieties in the Summerific collection. Nice, deep red blooms there, heavily ruffled, nicely overlapped. Crocosmia. Beautiful orange blooms. I'm going to see, it's called Peach Melba. I was just looking around the garden to see if I had any visuals of what its name was. And this is Crocosmia Peach Melba, which is really a very beautiful peachy orange color. It almost to me has a little bit of a iridescent shimmer to it. So that's something exciting, especially if you're looking for something a little bit taller, about 3 foot tall is what I'm seeing here now. That just is kind of a nice airy plant to blow in the breeze. That Crocosmia Peach Melba is really nice. And I think the last plant we're going to see today is the Echinacea Raspberry Ripple. And again, these plants have had their better days behind, but they're still playing around a little bit, putting on a few flowers. So we're going to just look at the size of the blooms, because obviously the flower color is not looking very swell right now, but really, look at that in my hand, really large blooms. This one maybe is a little bit better indicator of color, maybe not, but really nice big blooms when it does bloom. Look at those there, really beautiful. And that's the Raspberry Ripple coneflower. Thank you for walking through the garden with me today. There are so many fun new introductions, and I'm glad I was able to give you a sneak peek of what's coming. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.